Hello and welcome from the G5A Black Box to celebrate what has been an amazing and inspiring 5 years of G5A. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. We all felt we should open the festival from the Black Box, as it's become such an iconic and special place for us, our community, and the larger ecosystem. And really, we're only just getting started. I'd like to begin by sharing a quote by Arundhati Roy that has stayed with all of us through the lockdown, and one that has helped shape what we hope for this festival. She writes, "Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our data banks and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly with little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it." We've been firmly asserting the importance and necessity of the arts in our lives and the role it should play. Our luggage need carry little else but tools for our art, strength for our voices, and hope for our children. And now, in these times of uncertainty and instability, it's even more critical. Over the past 5 years, we've built a community and ecosystem that continues to believe in the possibility of new, unfiltered voices, and the possibility of building communities that are equitable, inclusive, and just. And sure, we've encountered many opinions along this road that have insisted that art should not and art must not. And to that, we've always felt the best response is just to continue the work we do, to continue asking ourselves and our community of what art should. And so we felt that we should celebrate this milestone with that same spirit. And we have a wonderful few days planned with conversations, presentations, and performances, and we can't wait to share them with you. I'd like to thank, on behalf of everyone at G5A, all 40+ participants of Should Art 2020, who have, at such short notice, so spontaneously and magnanimously agreed to come on board for this celebration. Thank you. To kick things off, I'd like to invite our founder and artistic director, Arundhati Roy, to share an intimate look at how we've gotten here today, and welcome every one of you to Should Art 2020.
Namaste and welcome to G5A. I never imagined how deeply moving it would be to be back in our black box once again. After sitting lost and forlorn these 7 months, the G5A warehouse has sprung back to life. A little scrub here and a little polish there, and she's back. Ready to celebrate 5 very happy and fulfilling years, and ready to welcome everyone back as soon as it is safely possible. As I look back at the beginning of G5A and how all this came to be, I genuinely find it hard to believe that we have already completed 5 years. 5 unbelievable and extraordinary years. At the same time, though, it also feels natural and not unexpected at all, like it was meant to be, simply and naturally. I'm guessing that's what is incredible and precious about dreams and magic. While they mostly seem otherworldly and ethereal, they are also very palpable and downright tangible sometimes, when everything is aligned, everything is in balance. As a child growing up in Bombay when I did, I believe I was especially lucky. It was a time when art and artists were a seamless part of our daily life. Art was life, and life was art. Of course, I had access to a good school, a happy mix of toys that were handmade and not, and books, lots of books. But the real privilege, I believe, was this natural flow between the everyday and art. There were trips to see Marathi theatre at Chabildas, the excitement to wake up at an ungodly hour to see Saturn's rings or the comet's tail, The smell of raw paint and stretched canvas, where artists like Gaitonde, Raza, Hussain, Akbar, Nalini all hung out and shared their work and their drink. Falling asleep in the lap of a parent while musicians like Vilayat Khan, Kishori Amonkar, Bhimsen Joshi performed at intimate baithaks late into the night, even on a school night. Poems of floating clouds coloring sunset skies, and of sprinkling those whose flowering time is past. Eavesdropping on conversations between the best of talent, Shyam Benegal, Charles Correa, R.K. Lakshman, Nath Pai, and later Shabana, Smita, Nasir, and Om. All of this based on a substructure of the deeply moving stories of the freedom movement, Satyagraha, and Gandhiji, and of Mandela and the real meaning of forgiveness. And without realizing it, and sometimes possibly resisting it, I imbibed spontaneously and osmotically the substance of life. Even in my sleep, I could tell a pure sur from a besura one. I could catch a glimpse of wonderment in works that held in balance in form, content, and layers. Art had woven itself into my DNA in a way that was organic, imperceptible, yet forever. My parents, Shaila and Jagdish Parekh, enabled this incredibly powerful fix. For this, I will forever remain indebted. But of course, before long, loud strains of Govinda's Ande Ka Fanda muzzled the strains of the sitar and the sarod. Oil paint and canvas geared up to match the color schemes of moneyed interior decorated homes. Smoky clouds billowed out uncontrollably and veiled the once bright, starry nights. The radio waves gave in and filtered out everything other than the loudest of voices. Architectural blueprints of community-centric, sustainable neighborhoods never saw the light of day, as they were drawn over by a rash of cookie-cutter housing projects. Film scripts and indie productions struggled to stay firm on the slippery backs of shiny piggy banks that were gorging on box office collections. Art sections of newspapers made way for page threes to fill glittering news of parties and champagne instead. Hero numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and more smothered the warriors of art cinema, much like Om Puri's silent scream in Akrosh. I felt a deep panic rising within me. Times were not good. Not only was the blaring sound of the mainstream drowning out all other voices, but the tiny, struggling echoes began losing their voice as their throats parched from the lack of nourishing support. As they say, a lie oft repeated not only becomes palatable, but eventually becomes the truth. And even the besura note, sung often enough, becomes the truth. No longer are we sensitized. No longer can we tell sur from sur. Therefore, no longer are we asking for better for ourselves or for our children. We are complicit as this changing landscape unfolds. We cannot even see ourselves becoming a part of this wild and seductive world of make-believe that services the surface and watches triumphantly as our souls shrivel and run dry. But thankfully, art forgives, and forgives wholeheartedly, and is waiting for us to embrace her once again. It is time for that change, a time to bring art back, especially in our current times, where voices of resistance, courage, and truth are being muzzled. And together, we need to build an ecosystem that nourishes a culturally vibrant society that enables dignity for all in a city that works. That is why G5A, one step at a time. We began quietly and modestly in 2013, seeking out the most appropriate partners in crime, and we haven't looked back. Although we met with resistance and skepticism, albeit from the most unexpected places, the new, amazing friends we made along the way outweighed and outnumbered the naysayers multiple times over. For that, I am humbled and hopeful. Soon G5A became a home for many, and its primary mission was accomplished. A quote from Namaha, one of our very talented contemporary Odissi dancers and G5A friend, says it beautifully. G5A is pretty much like a best friend's house. It's pretty much like home. Even when I spent 2 days there while attending a workshop, I felt so much at ease. In fact, there have been times when guests have come up to me and inquired about upcoming programs, payments, or even the washroom, and I felt quite like a host rather than a guest. Thank you, Namaha. G5A has many to thank for its specific DNA. The Mohile Parekh Center, the Bhulabhai Desai Institute, Chabildas, Samovar, Prithvi Theatre, the cafes and cinema houses of Paris, and the museums and educational institutions of the Western world. These were all pioneering spaces in their own unique way and part of a legacy that we're all very grateful for. The essence that unites all of these is a heady mix, the power of a vibrant, multidisciplinary community hub, and a place of comfort, conversation, and collaboration. And food, always food, all coming together to create and share works of art that would inspire generations to come. And then there's all the comrades who gave their time and ideas so generously and worked with me to give shape and form to what G5A is today. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge as many of the extraordinary people who were integral to this journey. Indira, how can I thank you enough? True comrade. Nimita, Sunita, Jonathan, Sunil, Radhika, Kalpana, Vivek, Kunal, and Surud, thank you for your love and support. The architecture, construction, and tech teams, both Udays, Mujib, Benny, David, Sandeep, Sopi, and all the contractors and workers who have shaped and built G5A brick by brick. All the tears, heartache, and moments of triumph have all been worth it. Also, the various individuals who worked as Team G5A over the years, thank you. And my council members, most especially Zakir Bhai, Javed, Shabana, Ranjit, Mr. Menon, Prashant, Nandita, and more recently, Yo-Yo Ma and T.M. Krishna. Thank you so much. You have all brought the goodwill, good cheer, and gravitas that was essential for this journey. Our pillars, Dilip Bhai, Prasad, Deepika, Francis, and all their teams, thank you. Your strength and behind-the-scenes work strengthens the foundation of G5A each day. And the teams who make up G5A today, you are the believers and the courageous. You are all rock stars. Thank you, especially for working with such extreme deadlines, as in the case of this festival. Thank you to my parents who have always been there with unconditional love and support. And Ishan, what can I say? You have stood by me throughout in your inimitable, quiet, and wise manner, and often waited patiently for me to be with you through homework, exams, and growing pains. You have even helped me break ground at the warehouse, and now you lead many of the innovative and inspiring initiatives at G5A. It has been an incredible gift sharing this journey as well with you. I could not be more proud, and I could not have done it without you. It is with deep gratitude to all of you incredible comrades that I would also like to say that because of your support and contribution, we have fulfilled most of the mission and goals we had set ourselves 5 years ago. And our current teams have worked hard during this pandemic to set our new goals for the next 5-year journey. And last but not the least, to our resilient and compassionate audiences, and hopefully many more new ones across the world now, G5A invites you to continue this journey forward with us. All of this combined and powerful energy has given me personally the much needed confidence, audacity even, to dream this dream and make G5A possible. Thank you, everyone. G5A is you. Welcome to Should Art 2020.